community to make sure that the things that need to be done get done, and we do it for the right reasons. Father, please bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies and us to your service in your Holy Son's name. Amen.
Amen. I don't see Nelson anywhere.
Right there, exactly. And I had a new song for us to do today, but I sent it to Aaron and it didn't get to him in time. And so,
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. But anyway, how many of you know I've been working on the railroad?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I was going to do, but I had the words that I was going to, but let's try it without words. Here we go.
Without words.
You have to hum. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Fee-fi. Oh no, sorry, I was about, somebody got it on here. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo. Okay, here we go. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-O. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-O. Fee-fi, fiddly-I-O. Strumming on the old banjo. You guys and gals do not need
Hit the bell, Mr. President. We can go home after that.
Nelson, I'm sorry I didn't see you here with the sunglasses.
Yeah. Did you think I was a much younger man?
We have a number of birthdays and anniversaries this week, according to DAC-TV. Kurt and Mike both had birthdays in this last week. I don't see Mike here today, our newest member, but Kurt's here somewhere. I saw him earlier.
Well, he was in
He skipped out, but he had a birthday last week or just a few days ago, and Mark House's birthday is today. So if you see Mark out, please tell him happy birthday. Butch is celebrating 40 years as a member of the Rotary Club of Batesville today.
He thought your birthday was his 40th birthday.
Johnny is celebrating 29 years. Deanna is not here, I don't think. She's 4 years today. And then Tim Bruner, if you see him, he's got a wedding anniversary today of 13 years. So, Donna, I didn't tell you this, but would you give us an update on grants? Or if not, I can if you want me to.
I suppose you need to give an update on that.
Okay.
With Matt today after this meeting, I know that.
Right, I know you and Matt are going to be talking about grants, but the deadline to submit grants to district is at the end of the month. We are going to submit grants for dictionaries, Best Foot Forward, Coats for Kids, and then we're going to add the DHS bag program. If you have any other ideas for grants you want us to submit, please let us know or let Donna know. She's our grant person. And Donna also visited the Sherwood Rotary Club. Was it just last week?
Yes, last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. They have a 5K in September. It's their big fundraiser. If you have any interest in running or walking in 5K, I guess you can walk in a 5K.
They do a family 1K walk.
Okay. So if you have any interest in participating, ask Donna. I have forms up here for it.
And I'm visiting the Searcy Rotary tomorrow.
She's just going all over the place. Great. Sergeant at Arms report, Ron. Nothing today. All right. Secretary.
Okay, I show that we have 26 Rotarians here today, and we actually have several guests. I'm pretty excited. First, I would like to introduce Renee. Would you stand up for us? This is Renee Brink. She is from the Quad City Club up at Cherokee Village, and she is our district governor assistant. So anytime we need any help and we can't get a hold of our district governor, Renee is our go-to lady. She's also the girl that I traveled the state with back when I did DLA a couple years ago through the district leadership. So she's a good friend of mine, great person, Y'all will love her. And I also have with me today my friend and coworker, Alicia Faust, and her daughter was one of our scholarship winners this year, Heaven, if y'all remember her. So she's here with us today. And I see that we have Joseph from the Batesville Guard at the back. Thank you, Joseph, for coming. We appreciate you. And Steve, you have a guest today, kind of, sort of?
I once again have my guest, my wife Ellen.
And Barrett, you have a guest today as well?
In the back of the room, I have Hannah Templin. She's a rising senior at Lyon College. She's interested in the law, and she's been an intern in my office for about a year and a half.
Just a few quick reminders. I know a lot of you went to the canoe race this weekend. I got a photo, but if you weren't in the photo and you did work at the race, make sure you let me know so I can get your makeups entered in .db. And then just a quick reminder, Wednesday night, we'll be at Help and Hope at 5:30 working. So anyone that can come out there, please show up and help us out.
Great, thank you, Amanda. Treasury.
Well, you haven't received your invoices yet. You were going to today, and then I ran into a little snag. So when I had to upgrade to a new system within the Rotary database, DACDB, and so some of the information I found is not quite right. So working on getting that straightened out, and you'll have your invoices soon.
Great, thank you, Dwight. I don't see Deanna here, so I'll give you a service update. Amanda covered a lot of what I would have said. Had a great turnout at the canoe race on Saturday. Had just enough people to do everything we needed. Thank you to Steve, Donna, Aaron, Mike, Jacob, who wasn't in the picture, Amanda, Johnny, Jerry, and Brenda for coming out. I appreciate it. Almost all of you are wearing your nice blue Rotarian at Work shirts, too. If anyone else needs a shirt, please let me know. I'm happy to order it for you. Is it time for the dictionary project soon? I think that's coming up, isn't it? In October? Okay, I thought we got them sooner than that. I don't see Ryan here. We've also got a membership task force. Aaron and Jared have agreed to help with Ryan and Dennis to focus on membership. So I want to thank both of them for agreeing to serve with Dennis on that. It's important. Jared did a great job as a door greeter today, didn't he? Let's give Jared a hand. Kathy Drew is up next. And Amanda, I'll let you come up and introduce our speaker for the day.
I'm happy to introduce two speakers today. The first one is Alan Kerr. He is our current insurance commissioner. He was appointed as Arkansas's 23rd insurance commissioner on January the 13th, 2015 by Governor Asa Hutchinson. Prior to his appointment, Kerr served 3 times in the Arkansas House of Representatives, distinguishing himself as a leader and friend of hard-working Arkansas taxpayers. In the Arkansas General Assembly, Kerr served as chairman of the Joint Committee on Public Retirement and Social Security Programs, and served on a variety of other committees, subcommittees, and task force, including the State and Public Schools Life and Health Insurance Program Legislative Task Force. During the 88th General Assembly, Kerr served as vice chairman of the House Insurance and Commerce Committee. Kerr brings to his position over 3 decades of experience in insurance and financial services. He opened the Alan Kerr Insurance Agency in March of 1981, and by its first year of business was ranked as #1 in production in the district of 40 established agencies. In 2013, the agency was purchased by Delta Trust and Bank, which was later purchased by Simmons Bank, becoming the Simmons First Insurance, of which Kerr served as president. Kerr has been the recipient of many industry awards, including being a 4-time member of the $1 Million Roundtable for Life Insurance Production. He was also named Best Insurance Agent by Sori Magazine in 2012 and 2013. A former Justice of the Peace for Pulaski County, Kerr also served as the Budget Chair for Pulaski County Quorum Court. Kerr and his wife, Marlisa, okay, make their home in Little Rock and are the proud parents of 4 children and grandparents to 5. And with Alan Kerr today is Russ Galbraith. He joined the department in 2015. Since then, he has authored the department's efficiency report, led the effort to streamline agent pre-license education, and served as hearing officer for numerous agent, company, and consumer issues. Before that, he served as a senior government and industry affairs manager for Farmers Insurance for 17 years. During that time, he served as the primary legislative and regulatory liaison for farmers in Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. He previously served as president for the Arkansas Adjusters Association and sat on numerous industry boards, including the Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana Automobile Insurance Plans, the Governor's Earthquake Task Force, the Arkansas State Disaster Coalition, the Arkansas Royal Risk Underwriting Association, and the Arkansas Insurance Industry Coalition. He earned a master's degree in public administration from UALR and a bachelor's degree in political science from Lyon College. So if you all would please welcome with me the insurance part.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good looking group of ladies and gentlemen. I kind of feel fatigued after listening to that introduction. I'm worn out already thinking about all the stuff we've already done. And I appreciate you having me here this afternoon. I do want to introduce one more time my Chief Deputy, Russ Galbraith. Why don't you stand up, Russ? Now to show you how the governor is reducing government, Russ, as my chief deputy, also serves as my bodyguard because he's like, 7 foot tall. But he's a good sport, I always introduce him that way. It's great to speak to you at the Rotary this afternoon. Just a little bit about me and where I came from. My parents lived in Lonoke County. Just after World War II, they bought a little bitty chicken farm, built that up over several years. You all have a few of those around here, I've noticed. After all of us, me and my sisters, working in that for a period of time, they sold that farm, thank goodness, and opened up a grocery store in Jacksonville, not too far from there. So we went from wholesale to retail, but we all still work together. My point being is I come from a background of being self-employed. When we sold that business in 1980, I was looking around for something that didn't have a cash register. You didn't have to feed it the next morning, you know. You didn't have to worry about refrigeration boxes going out on you in the middle of the night. You know, just something. And every appointment I went on, every interview I went on, ended up being some kind of insurance. If I was sure it was car sales when I got there, they wanted me to sell insurance. So after a while, you kind of give up, say, all right, Lord, I hear you. I'll go sell insurance. And went and talked to my agent, and she got me hooked up, and the rest is history. Did that for 35 years, my wife and I, and of course, being used to family-run businesses, my wife and I ran that insurance agency for 35 years. I got interested in politics because I didn't like the way things were going. And that was about 2005, I guess. I ran for county quorum court. From then, I went on up to the House of Representatives of the state of Arkansas. Yeah, politics is an interesting animal, I can tell you that. But there's no better education than actually getting in and doing it. The thing about politics is you're never really done. You know, there's always more to be done. As my term ended in the House of Representatives, the governor asked me to help him on his campaign. I ran the second congressional district portion of his campaign from Searcy to Conway, the Benton is the 2nd Congressional District, and we won, as you know. He asked me to be his insurance commissioner because I had a little bit of experience in that area. How many insurance agents or people in insurance we have in here today? See there? My people. That's right. Greatest business in the world, isn't it? I think so. One of the reasons that he asked me to be insurance commissioner is because we kind of saw eye to eye on regulation. I don't like regulation. I think the less regulation, the better. Let businesses do their business. Let people run their businesses. It'll always float to the top if you let them put their best effort in and leave them alone and let them do their jobs. Now, that doesn't mean that sometimes you don't need a referee on the field. You know? You can't really have a football game if everybody's going over offsides or crossing the lines, or sometimes you have to call an audible, you know? And you throw the flag, you tell them where they went wrong, pull them back in line, and let them go on. But you don't stand there and just regulate them to death. And the governor and I saw quite a bit eye to eye on that. So what we've been actually doing is doing as much as we can to help roll back regulation and let businesses do business. And for that, we were trying to make sure Arkansas was business friendly. Okay, we want Arkansas to be one of those states that insurance companies want to come to because it's easy to do business. All right, there's no reason why State Farm shouldn't have a home office right here in Batesville. And you have students finish up at Lyon College, walk right into a nice paying job. Insurance has got, of course they've got sales, of course they've got the technical side of it. They have actuaries and people who are good in math. They need accountants and things like that. But they also need the technology side. As you might notice, most things, a lot of things are going toward technology. I know you guys can you quote a policy without a computer? No? See, when I started, we had a book. We had a manual. I miss my manual from day to day.
I still have my wheel.
Yeah? Got your little wheel? But computers nowadays, they evaluate risk with each particular customer with all kinds of different parameters. But deregulating is what we're all about. Okay, we'll make things more comfortable here in Arkansas. Now, at the same time, we don't want to forget one of our primary missions is consumer protection. Because for how many people out there trying to do it right, there's always one or two that are not. Isn't that right? We run across them every single day. You see them in the paper all the time. You got people out there participating in car crash rings. You heard about those? They'll rent a U-Haul. Them and their buddy will rent a U-Haul and then buy the insurance that the U-Haul plays. And then they'll stage an accident and file a claim. Yeah. A lot of trouble to go through, isn't it? But those are the kind of things that we're trying to protect the public from. You know, people out there causing accidents on purpose just so they can file a claim. Medical claims are probably the biggest. But that's part of our job. It's part of what we're charged with doing. Over the last 2 years, since I've been commissioner, we have recovered just under $7 million in consumer funds for consumers. We have granted upwards of 14,000 new insurance licenses. Now, when you deregulate things, it's amazing how fast business wants to flow back in. When I took office, of course I've been an agent for 35 years at that point, I took office, we had a lot of major companies leaving the state of Arkansas. Travelers being one of them. A lot of name brand companies that either stopped doing business or were on their way out. We jumped in, we were able to reverse that and got them coming back in. And because of that, They bring in new products, new agents. We've signed up 14,000 new agents. Those 14,000 new jobs, guys. 14,000 new jobs. We granted certificates of authority for 51 new companies in that time. And growing. We've still got applications for more. And as time goes on, the longer I'm commissioner, the bigger the word gets out, they start becoming closer and closer together. Companies like Tip Tap, or what they're actually going to be marketing themselves as Homeowners Choice Property and Casualty Insurance. They're primarily a private flood insurance company. Right now, you as agents, you know that one of the only places you can get flood insurance is National Flood Insurance Program. How easy are those to write? It says it all. Write a policy through the National Flood Insurance Program. Of course, it's a federal agency overseen by FEMA. That should say it all. It takes an act of Congress, almost an act of Congress, to get a policy issued. And then once you get it issued, there's lots of other problems go along with that. But filing a claim is ridiculous. It just goes on and on. But this new company that we just signed on, I went and courted them from Florida. They were only doing business in Florida. This fella who has this company, it's very strong financially. We're the first state that they're doing outside of Florida. And literally, ladies, when you're able to get licensed with this company, you'll be able to pull up your phone. There are 2 screens to issue a flood policy. There is no certificate, flood certificate, you don't have to get those. All this stuff is going to be encoded into their rates. Every house, every address will already have the flood maps in those algorithms. So all you got to do is you go to that app, you put the address of the home in there, and you got a little bar, you run it up and down how much coverage you want. When you get that set, you hit the button, goes to page 2, you put in your payment information, issue a policy. One and done. Okay? That's the kind of technology. Now the problem with that is, not that there's a problem, it's an opportunity. The people it takes to support that system is who they're going to be looking for. Those are the jobs that you're going to want to be part of. Okay? Your children, you're coming out of college, if you got some that are a little nerdy and techy, this is the kind of job that they love. So, you know, Arkansas right now has got the lowest unemployment in history in our state. What happens from there? Well, now we got a deficit. We got more jobs than we got people to do them. That's a terrible, hard problem for businesses, but a great problem to have for your economy. So we're going to want to try to keep as many of these kids here to do these jobs as possible. Instead of going to Tulsa and Texas, Tennessee, we want to try to keep them here because that's where the jobs are. And we're working really hard to try to keep these companies, get them to come from Missouri, Oklahoma. We've got one from Pennsylvania recorded to come down here and make their home and domicile in Arkansas. So, but there's no reason why they can't be right here in Batesville. They got a job market, okay? But the flood company is just one example of why we're ahead of the curve. We're always recruiting. That's one of my jobs. My jobs, I don't do much now than I did when I was in the insurance business. I'm going out looking for customers, trying to get them to come into my organization. You know, spend their money here. So it's all sales. My dad used to say, you either sell it or you make it. I'm not smart enough to make it, but boy, I can sell it. There's another type of industry called a captive out there. Now, the captives have gotten a bad rap, okay? As you as agents, have y'all heard anything about captives? Mostly negative? Yeah, let me put that to rest for you. Here's what happens. I've got a large company, and I'm spending $2 or $3 million a year in insurance premium to Liberty Mutual or somebody like that. workers' comp, general liability, property, I've got trucks, all those things. And I'm looking for a way to save money on my premium. My agent's done me a good job, but that's just not going to be good enough because my company's growing and this insurance is getting out of control. So, what else can I do? Well, there's a system out there called being a captive, and what that amounts to is I'm going to create my own insurance company. I'm going to put reserves aside, just like an insurance company would have to, and I'm going to be the only customer of that insurance company. I am going to be that company. I am captive in that company. Okay? So let's take workers' comp. If I'm the insurance company and I'm the one paying the claims, I'm going to be really good at watching my risk on workers' comp, aren't I? Okay? So my risks are going to get better. I don't have to pay an insurance company, and insurance company doesn't have to make a profit. That's all me. I'm the company. Okay? Now it's like a self-insured situation, but not. You literally have to build an insurance company. And to that I can add my general liability, my property, my trucks, whatever there might be. Arkansas has been one of the last states in the union to embrace this. And I have grabbed it, ran with it, because why? Billions of dollars of our state money has been going outside the state. Okay? I'm like you. If I'm an insurance agent, I'd rather write the policy. But if they're going to take this money and go to Tennessee or South Carolina or worse yet, the Bahamas, to do this anyway, wouldn't you rather have them do it here? Let's keep that money here, because with that, they're going to have to hire risk managers. They're going to have to hire third-party administrators, an agent. Now, agents that are getting smart with this, that are embracing this, they're learning about captives so that they can go help their customers build one, and thereby charge them a fee or commission for running that captive for them. See what I mean? Opportunity, not negative. That money's going to leave the state anyway if you don't do it. Might as well keep that money here, because the more money you keep here, there's more opportunity for this state. We're always looking for innovative products. Anything Uber. Russ was still a lobbyist when I became an insurance commissioner, and the chairman at that time of the Senate Insurance and Commerce Committee pulls me up to the podium and he says, "Commissioner, I need you to take care of this Uber thing for me and make it go away." I said, "Yes, sir, I'm on it. One question, what's Uber?" And found out it was the newest thing. Russ was already on it. He was trying to lobby us for one direction. We were trying to pull another. But we came to an agreement, and the end result was a pretty good one. The only issue was, at what point does Uber's insurance pick up and your personal insurance on your car end? So we got that worked out. But innovative products. There's a new company trying to get a license in Arkansas right now. We're kind of going back and forth with, called Lemonade. Lemonade is, you're going to hate them. They're an online company wanting to sell renters insurance and homeowners. Now, that's the problem with having an insurance commissioner who has been part of the industry for decades. I know there's a whole lot more to writing a homeowner's policy than going on the internet and telling them, I want this amount of coverage on my house. Okay? It doesn't really work out well for the customer, and it certainly, at some point, is going to catch up with the insurance company, because if you're not inspecting those houses, you don't know if there's even a house at that address. Okay? Then one or two of them is going to have a problem. So, technology as a good side. with all the good sometimes comes the bad. That's what we're there for. Okay. Our licensing situation, when, as she mentioned, that when Russ came on board, one of the first things I gave him was to innovate and put all of our education online, pre-license education. Huh? Yeah, you're welcome. You wouldn't believe the resistance I got on it. And I just told him that it's too late. We're going to do it. We're the last state in the country, and we need to have this available. Hence why we had 14,000 agents signed up in the last 2 years. Couldn't do that going to a classroom. See, prior to that, you had to go to a classroom and sit in front of somebody and learn about insurance. It was long and arduous. I mean, it wasn't almost as bad as when I went for my licenses. We had to, chisel them out on a stone tablet. But we got it up and running, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. And most people like it. It's not the best thing since sliced bread. What's wrong with it?
I hate it. I just hate it. That's just me.
Okay.
Just me.
Well, you can't please everybody.
I
You'd rather go and sit in front of a... You can still do that.
know. Can.
Yeah.
I know.
You get laughed at, but
Just there with all the other old people my age.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
There's all these people my age sitting in there trying to get an insurance license. But agent adjusters still must go through licensing subject to our law. You don't want somebody out there selling product like insurance without being licensed, okay? We also fight crime. Like I mentioned before, we have the situation with the crash rings and insurance fraud. And God help us, the most common problem I have with fraud is with agents is they keep taking premium and want to pay their car payment with it. Okay? That doesn't last long. We catch them, but it just drives me nuts. They know better. But you can help by reporting fraud. Just contact our office, go online, fill out a complaint form. We want to hear about all of it because that's what we're there for. We have a complete and separate division from our, we have 14 divisions in the insurance department, but one of them is our criminal investigation division. This is a police force unit. They carry guns, and lights on their cars, and everything else. I'm still waiting for my car with lights on it, but these guys take their job serious. We get several convictions a year for fraud. People set fire to their own house, their own car, turn in claims that aren't true, and honestly, 32% of every claim turned in has some amount of fraud included in it, still. And we catch a lot of it. Problem is, if they do it once, they're bound to do it again because they thought that was easy money. So we will catch it. Health insurance. How many of you are curious about health insurance? This time of year I spend a lot of my time on health insurance because it is rate filing time. The insurance companies had till July 15th to file their rates. I've got till August 15th to approve them. The rates that they have filed so far, now when they file rates, we have our actuaries sit down and go through all the information and make sure that those rate filings or their increases are justified, or decreases. Rarely ever get a decrease, but it happens. So far, Blue Cross has filed for a 7.8% increase. Now these are individual policies, not groups at the moment. And better, which is Centene, is filed a 9.9%. Qual Choice filed a 22% increase. Okay? Qual Choice, fortunately, has a very small section of the market. And in order for them to stay in that market, they're going to have to come down about half of that. So just because they file it doesn't mean it automatically gets approved. You might have remembered last year, Blue Cross filed double digits. I let them have 9%. This year, after talking with them back and forth for over a year, their first reasonable request was 7.8, which is pretty decent. Now this is at a point in time in our history that every state across the nation is getting double-digit rate increases. When I say double-digit, I'm talking 20, 30, 40, 50. Arizona had an 80% rate increase following one of their markets the other day, okay? And if they can't get it, they pull out of the state. Because after all, they're there to make a profit, and they can't make a profit, there's no point. So, believe me, I'm careful to find where that sweet spot is. I don't want to lose anybody, but I want them to play fair too. Okay? I believe people should be able to price their product accordingly. But people, nothing sets me on fire more than greed. You ever heard of an insurance company being greedy? New concept, I guess. We're all human. Some of them just can't help it. But again, not trying to overregulate, just trying to referee. You know, I have to call on all sides when they ask for too much. But we're still looking at them. We're doing our due diligence and making sure all those numbers are justified. Every one of those will probably come down some, especially Qual Choice. Some of these companies are cutting administrative costs, like Blue Cross. Some of them are just basically watching their money better. Okay, they can't just do business as usual. They got to manage things better. And a good managed business is a solid business. The governor is going across the state. Of course, we're in. Guess what? It's almost election season again next year. Gosh, here we go again. But under the governor's purview, he has created almost 75,000 jobs, cut $150 million in taxes, and reduced state government by over 1,000 positions in just 2 years. Okay. About 50 of those came out of my department. Yeah. I come from the private sector. Everybody hates government because you got duplicate positions. You've got, you know, not everybody's showing up, those kind of things. We did away with that. I run our agency like it's a business, like it's a profitable business. The Arkansas Insurance Department is not only profitable, it's contributory to the state. So we have about a $260 million revenue every year. You know what my overhead is? A little over 13 million. Okay? It was more than that when I started, but we whittled it down to that. So pretty much everything else goes to Department of Finance Administration. You remember here just about a month ago, we were under forecast and behind on our revenue at the state. Nobody reported where that sudden windfall came from to put us over the top. It was us. Larry Walther from DFNA, the director of DFNA, for a solid week, he called me every day, "Where's my check? Where's my check? Where's my check?" And finally I realized, I said, "Well, Larry, don't y'all draft that at the end of the week?" "Oh yeah." He was worried about putting us over the top. And of course, you know, the governor's putting pressure on him to make things come out right. But this governor has done a fantastic job. We've got a great team of directors of all the departments. I can honestly say that every day, every week that goes by, things get a little better. We have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of problems come up, but we tackle them one at a time, and we come out. We come out really well. That's about the end of my remarks, guys. Do y'all have any questions at all?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know much about the Arkansas Contractors Licensing Board pulling out their restriction or their requirement for the guys to carry a work comp policy to keep their license?
Yeah, I get a call on that about once a day now. Yeah, me and the Work Comp Commission, you know, the Work Comp Commission litigates claims. Our department's the one that has purview over the insurance portion of it. So we're going to get together and we're going to put out a joint statement so that everybody knows really where they're supposed to stand on that. It's going to be out in the next few days, hopefully, a week at the most. But we're going to put it on our website, we'll put it on their website. Whatever the contractor board decides to do to make qualifications for a license is up to them. It's up to that board. The problem is, just because to get a license, I don't have to have this piece of paper that says I got workers' comp. Doesn't mean you don't have to have workers' comp. Now, if you're having contractors that are giving you trouble over that, because I know as an agent, when they heard that, I don't have to pay for workers' comp anymore.
They're all non-renewing.
Yeah, or all of my employees, I don't have any employees, they're all 1099. I don't care what form they file with the federal government. They still have to have workers' comp. And even the federal government, if a subcontractor works for you on more than one location, he's an employee. You can pay him 1099, you can pay him a W-2, however you want to do it. But he's still an employee. On top of that, he may hire some temporary labor. Okay? Those aren't subcontractors, those are employees. So in my opinion, the contractors board really messed themselves up. This is going to be an issue. So, tell you what, anybody that wants it, my cell number, 501-940-6791. Or of course, you know what's called the insurance department. But that gets me direct to my cell number. You start having trouble with those, give me a call. I'll call a contractor. Tell them you need to go get workers' comp.
Most of them aren't, they're not renewing because most of them were with Berkeley anyway. Berkeley's pulled out of the states.
Okay.
So we're having to reroute them anyway because they're all zero payroll.
Right.
Supposedly.
Right.
And so now they're just all non-renewing them.
Well, what that's going to cause is, you know, right now you got a deal where you can get a certificate of non-coverage.
Right.
I'm one guy. I do painting, and I don't have any employees, so I can get a certificate of non-coverage for $50
Sure.
and waive my right to workers' comp. Here's the problem. If I sign a contract with a major contractor and as a sub, and I go in there and start to paint this house and realize I've got a deadline, I'm not going to do it myself, so I'm going to hire somebody off the street or maybe a friend of mine who does painting too. That guy gets hurt. Okay? Subcontractor doesn't have any workers' comp. It flows, it keeps going up. The contractor doesn't have workers' comp. But here's the problem. That primary contractor, that's where it stops. That'll put him out of business real fast. He'll have to file bankruptcy. So, isn't that right, Councilman?
It's possible.
I don't know you were a lawyer.
It says it on my badge.
Is that right? But, like I said, you have any more trouble that hard. More questions? Yes, sir.
We'd had our health group through Federated for over 30 years, and now they're pulling out of that. Do they have to consult with you before they stay in the state and write other insurance and decide they don't want to do health? And do they have any responsibility to their clients to help us find other coverages?
Yes, yes, and no. Yes, they have to tell us. Yes, they have certain steps they have to go through. They do not have to help you find other coverage. Okay, that's kind of up to you, the consumer. So, again, any problems you have with that, call our office. We got folks there to take care of you. We have a consumer insurance division that we've got about 20 people down there. All they do is answer questions and complaints and handle problems like that. So we're there to help you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. Thank you, folks.
Don't go too far. We need you or someone to do a joker draw, if you will. And while you're doing that, we're going to donate a book to the local library on your behalf. And
What kind of drawings?
well,
Pull out a ticket.
Pull out a ticket, you said.
Pull
just a
out
little raffle we do.
Chicken dance.
The chicken dance.
424
I ain't dancing.
429.
429 or 329?
429. 424.
Yeah, draw and I don't win.
Oh, well, you're due.
He just gets the pot nice and fast for everybody else.
This is a racket. As long as he doesn't.
Just one time.
It doesn't matter.
We're up to $340.
Remember, we have Help and Hope this Friday at 5:30. Wednesday, excuse me. I said Wednesday. Excuse me. District Governor is going to be with us next Monday, so please come if you can. And if there's no other announcements, we'll end, as we always do, with the four-way test.
Is it the
Truth is fair to all concerned. Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? We're adjourned.